So this is US dollar CAD analysis for Tuesday, 31st of October. Now, let's just have a look what happened here on Monday the 30th. So on Monday the 30th, we pretty much had a price action, standard price action for Monday, really. We've had prices come into a bit of a range after a strong move last week. As you can see on the charts, it's pretty clear. We've had very strong moves to the upside, so we've had a move there to the upside, broke to a significant level of 26.22, had a bit of consolidation, couple of retests around this 26.22, strong move to the upside, again come back down, came close to the retest of this 27.78, and we've had a strong move to the upside. We were expecting price to go up to this 129, I think it's 44, but we did see some selling momentum coming around this round number of 129. So selling momentum came in at the end of the week. It could be, we have to factor in the fact that it was Friday, and also we have the end of month, so it was the end of October as well. October should actually end today, the 31st, but it being Friday and near the end of the month, I suppose you could have a lot of profit taking in the market. Now, overall, we were still bullish the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. Now, we have had a recovery in oil, and we are bullish oil, but I tend not to do my analysis axiomatically in thinking that, oh, because oil is strengthening, that we should expect the Canadian dollar to strengthen also. But this week we do expect a fundamental catalyst in regards to the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. So the fundamental catalysts, are, I think it's the FOMC statement on Wednesday for the US dollar. I don't think anybody's expecting an interest rate rise, but of significance for the Canadian dollar is their governor. I think his name is Pozzo, whatever, Pozzo or something. Well, whoever the head is for the Canadian Central Bank, he is he's actually speaking, and it is based on Forex calendars. It is a red level event. So it is going to be a significant event. Now, the last time he actually spoke, he did indicate that there were not likely to be any rate rises by the end of the year. I think it was last week actually, or it was possibly the week before. They did have their interest rate decision. I think it was last week actually. They had their interest rate decision, and they did not raise rates, and we saw further selling momentum in regards to the Canadian dollar. So we saw a lot of selling momentum. So we had quite a few currencies strengthen against the Canadian dollar, but we have seen a bit of a recovery of the Canadian dollar more recently. So overall, we are still bullish US dollar, Canadian dollar. That's primarily based on the overall trend to being to the upside, but we have to be aware of the fundamentals and what the head of the Canadian Central Bank, he has a speech to see what he says. But overall, we could see prices. Where do we expect prices to go? Let's just get this correct. Sure. So we could see prices come down to 27.78. Before we do get a bounce to retest these 129 levels, before we have an ultimate test of this 129.44. I'm looking to see what prices do around this 129.44, whether we do see a bit of a sell-off all the way back down to 127.78, or whether we do have a bit of consolidation, break above this 129.44, and we head towards a very significant level in around this 130 level. 130 is going to be a very strong level. We do have quite a bit of resistance up there in around this 130. So in around 130, we are expecting some selling momentum if we do trade above 129.44. If we do break down, we do have a degree of Canadian bullishness. We would likely see prices break beyond this 127.78, so we could potentially see prices come down towards 200 premium average, by which time 200 premium average will be sitting at 127. below which we also have this 126.22, which come into focus, along with this 400 period moving average, which will likely be above this 126.22. So this 126.22 will likely be a significant area that we will likely visit, depending on the degree of bullishness for the Canadian dollar and the bearishness by the US dollar. We would likely visit that by the end of the week. Again, if we do see the fundamentals play out as they have been in the past, most recent couple of weeks, in that we've had a bearishness from the Canadian Central Bank, and we've continued to have markets pricing a rate rise in the United States. Again, we'll see how prices react around this 129.44, beyond which 130 should come into focus. Now, let's just have a look at the higher time frames before we wrap up this analysis. So we're going to have a look at the weekly time frame first, as we usually do. Let's just bear with me a second here. This is just getting correct. So here on this weekly time frame, it's pretty clear. We've had a very strong uptrend. We've come down to 120. I think it's 120.63. Yes, 120.63. Had a small bit of a pullback towards the 200 period average here. We had one bearish week, but we've had a very strong week. Last week, we didn't quite close near the highs. We had a bit of a sell-off from the highs, which is a bit of a concern. We might see some selling momentum come into this week, but the overall trend, it'd be difficult to trade, to go counter against it, is to the upside, even though we did see a bit of selling momentum coming before we got this up to a significant level of 129.44. So overall, weekly time frame, we are looking bullish. Let's just have a look at the daily. So on the daily time frame, again, I'm just going to grab the pen so we can see here. Had a bit of a pullback, broke out on this strong candle here. We've had that move to the upside. We've broke above these swing highs over here. We have had that on this daily time frame. Had a bit of pin bar, candle closed near its lows, which is a cause for concern. The fact that it did go up so high, but did close near its lows. We might see a bit of a consolidation here in around this 127.78 before we see prices head up towards that 129.44. We're expecting to see possibly some selling momentum coming to the market in around that's 130. I've already mentioned, but just show you what I was concerned about is 130 being an area where we might see some selling momentum. As you can see, we currently have the 200 period moving average resting at this 130 level. 200 period moving average is now 130. Yes, just 130.05 essentially. 130.05. We've got the 200 period moving average. Also, it being a round number as well. We're likely to see some profit taking, some selling momentum. So about 130, we could see some selling momentum take prices all the way down to just 129.44. That's if we are able to trade above the highs of last Friday, where we do have this pin bar at present, and we are operating in the shadow of it after this very strong move to the upside. So we might see a bit of a pullback before we see further continuation all the way up to our target at 129.44, beyond which we've got 130 in focus. So that should wrap up the US dollar Canadian dollar analysis. So before I go, LCS, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.